Now, very importantly, futures and options originally came in as risk management instruments. So we bought an option because we didn't want downside risk. We bought a forward because we wanted to hedge our position. Now there are various payoffs that can be created by combining options. So we saw the payoffs on single options. This was the payoff on which option? Long call. This was the payoff on which option? Long put. Similarly, we studied the payoff on the short call and the payoff on the short put. These were some payoffs that we created. Combining options can create other different payoffs that may be required in certain circumstances. So we'll study all the various combinations one by one and we will do some examples. The first strategy is called a covered call. Let's assume that I have short a call option. So if I have short a call option, what is my risk? Stock going up is the risk in a short call, because if the stock price goes up, the buyer will exercise. He will buy from you at K and sell in the market for a very high price. You will have to sell it to him at K and you will buy from the market at a very high price. So in a short call, the payoff is something like this. Till the time spot is equal to strike or the spot is less than the strike, you will enjoy your premium. As the spot starts moving above the strike, you will start losing as the buyer exercises his option. So let's assume we took this position, we took the short call position, and now we are actually scared that the stock may go up, or we are scared that we have made a mistake. The problem is that the option market has suddenly turned illiquid, so I am unable to reverse this position. How would I reverse this position? Any derivative instrument can be closed by entering into an opposite contract of the corresponding maturity. So if I'm short a call, I just need to long a call. If I long a call, I have effectively closed this position. Just like we were long a forward, we need to short a forward and close out the position. So unfortunately, I'm not able to long a call. But I want to hedge my risk of the stock going up. What I can do, or what will gain when the stock goes up? The stock itself. So with a short call, I long stock. That's what is called a covered call. So we had a short call position, we covered it by longing stock. Payoff on the long stock will simply be this 45-degree line. As the stock goes up, we gain. As the stock goes down, we lose. The combined payoff from the covered call can now be drawn. If the spot remains equal to the strike, and let's assume we purchase the stock also at the strike price, then there is no payoff on the long stock because I bought it and the stock is still there. On the short call, I will still enjoy my premium. So this will be my payoff if S is equal to A. As the stock price falls below, as the stock starts to come down, will the call option be exercised? Call is only exercised if spot is greater than K. If spot is less than K, then the call option doesn't get exercised. I will enjoy my premium. However, I also longed a stock. That long stock will now start losing money. If I hadn't longed the stock, this blue line would have been my payoff. Now, because I have longed the stock also, as the spot price falls, the stock will fall, and to that extent I will have a loss. So I will still be better off because I am receiving a premium on the call, but otherwise my payoff or my total profit will come down with the stock. As the spot moves above the strike, I will start gaining on the stock, just like I was losing here. But I will now start losing on the option because I also short a call, and the buyer of the call comes in the money and I will start losing. But for every 1 unit increase in stock price, I have 1 unit of profit from the stock position and 1 unit of loss from the call position. Hence, the payoff will plateau out. That is, any increase is netted off or cancelled because the gain on the stock will be cancelled by the loss in the call option. So the combined payoff will look like the red dotted line. The individual payoffs are the long stock and the short call. What does the red dotted line look like? This is the payoff on a short put option. So please remember that a covered call converts a short call position into a short put position. So you are scared now that the stock price will go up. Hence you covered your stock call or short call position. Drawing these diagrams will not come in the exam. It's an objective type exam. However, just for understanding of options better, we are doing it in a detailed manner. Questions will be more like the ones that we'll study, wherein you don't really need to know the diagram. You'll still be able to solve the question. So an investor buys a script for $52 and sells a call for $5 with a strike price of $55. Show the expression for profit and compute the maximum profit and loss and the break-even price. Break-even prices where there is no profit and no loss. So please note that in examples on option strategies, it really doesn't matter what the strategy is. So even if it wasn't said covered call, we won't have to bother. It would still be the method of solving would still be the same. So how do you solve? First, draw a timeline and depict the various strike prices of the option. On the timeline, you'll only depict the strike prices. In our question, there is only one option and there is only one strike price. So we will denote $55 as the strike price. The cases that you will have to consider would be spot being less than the strike price and the spot being greater than or equal to the strike price. Because for options, there will be a non-linearity in the payoff. It will come in the money or out of the money depending on whether the stock is above or below the strike. So first solve for spot lesser than the strike. If spot is less than the strike, will the option come in the money? It's a call option. The call option will not be exercised. Hence, our payoff will simply be the premium on the call option and the payoff on the stock. The payoff on the stock will always be S minus 52. S minus 52 is because you purchased the stock for $52 and the current price of the stock is S. So S minus 52 will be the payoff on the stock plus the payoff on the call option, which is equal to $5. For all S less than K, this is what is going to be the payoff. If S was greater than or equal to K, then the option comes in the money, or the buyer will exercise the option. So if the buyer exercises the option, then our payoff will be equal to minus of S minus K, because if S is greater than K, then S minus K will be the profit to the buyer, or we will have an equal amount of loss. This will be the payoff from the option. S minus 52 will continue to be our payoff from the stock, plus $5 is what we received from the premium of the option, because when we sold the call, this 5 is going nowhere, so this 5 will always come. So if spot is greater than the strike, then please note the S will get cancelled. The strike price is 55, so the payoff will be 55 minus 52 plus 5, that is equal to $8. So if the spot is greater than the strike, then the payoff is a fixed amount of $8 as we just derived. Payoff from the option will be minus S minus K, from the stock will be S minus 52. This S will cancel each other. K is given to be 55. As the stock price falls, the loss or the value of our portfolio will also fall according to S minus 47. If S is less than K, then the expression is S minus 47. So what is the maximum amount of loss possible? So that's the first part, that is show the expression for the profit. Expression for the profit is, for S less than K, it is S minus 47, that is wherever the stock price ends, minus 47. For S greater than or equal to K, the payoff is simply $8. And compute the maximum profit. What is the maximum possible profit? So K is 55. Even if I put K as 55 here, 55 minus 47 is 8. Maximum possible profit is $8. Maximum loss is how much? Maximum loss will be when S becomes 0. The maximum possible loss will be $47. Break-even price is where there is exactly 0 profit and 0 loss. So at what S are we at break-even? When is S minus 47 going to be equal to 0? When stock price is $47. So $47 is called the break-even price. Compute the profits when the stock price is 0, 45, 50, 55, 60 and 65. For 0 to 55, you will simply put it in this expression, S minus 47, and compute the answer. Above 55, that is 60, 65, the payoff will be how much? It will simply be $8 because S will get cancelled. You will understand this technique when we do more questions. It is a very straightforward method of solving. You don't even need to know what the strategy is. For all strategies, and we'll study many strategies, we'll apply the same approach. First, depict a timeline. depict all the strike prices, and then calculate an expression for all ranges in between the strike prices. The second strategy that we'll study is called a protective put. So let's assume that we are long a stock now. So to begin with, we are long stock. In such a scenario, what is the risk? The risk now is that the stock price will fall. So if the position to begin with simply is long stock, then as the stock falls, there will be a loss. As the stock goes up, there will be a gain. How do I protect against the risk that the stock price will fall? Which option can I use? I can simply buy a put or long put that gives me the right to sell this stock at $100 or whatever is the strike price. Such that even if the stock price falls, I can still sell the stock at K because I have a put option or the right to sell at K. The payoff on a put option can be depicted as if the spot ends up above the strike, I simply lose my premium because for buying the put I would have paid some premium. As the stock goes below the strike, I will start gaining because I will buy at a lower price and sell at K, the right to sell at K. This is the payoff on the long put. The first was the payoff on the long stock. Now let's try to draw the combined payoff of the protective put. So if the spot remains equal to the strike, then there is no profit or loss on the long stock position, and I will simply lose my premium on the long put. As the stock starts to go above the strike price, the put expires worthless, but I will keep gaining on the long stock position. So for every 1 unit movement of the spot towards the right, or every 1 unit increase in the spot price, I will have a 1 rupee increase in profit or a $1 increase in profits. So as the stock starts going up, I will start gaining along with the stock price. So please note this is a 45-degree line. All these lines and options are 45-degree lines up till now we've drawn. Why 45? Because a 1 unit movement forward causes a 1 unit increase in profit. 2 units movement forward causes a 2 units increase in profit. However, the profit will still be lower than the original long stock because of the premium that we have had to pay for the long put. If the stock goes above the strike, then along this 45-degree line will be my payoff. As the spot starts falling or it goes below the strike, I will start losing on the stock. The stock position that was gaining will now start losing, but I will start gaining on the put. So any 1 unit fall in the spot price will cause a 1 unit loss in the stock position, but a 1 unit gain in the put position, such that my overall payoff will plateau out or it will flatten. So after this point, any loss will be made up for by an equal amount of gain on the option position. Thus, the blue line will be the payoff on the protective put. What does the blue line look like? Looks like a long call. Remember, a protective put converts a long stock position into a long call position, that is protects against downfall because you've purchased the put option. An investor purchases a stock for $80 and buys a put for $15 with a strike price of $70. Demonstrate the expressions for the profit and the maximum profit and compute the maximum loss and the break-even price. Once again, it doesn't matter what the strategy is. All questions on options will be solved in this manner. First, depict a timeline and depict what are the strike prices of the various options. In this case, again, there is only one option with a strike price of $70. So we will denote 70 and we'll compute an expression for when the spot is less than 70 and when the spot is greater than or equal to 70. So he has purchased a stock for 80. Now in either case, the payoff on the stock will be equal to S minus 80. That is, whatever is the spot price minus 80 will be my profit because I purchased the stock for $80. So S minus 80 is the profit on the stock. I've purchased a put for $15. So even this $15 has to be paid in either case. Nothing can stop this because the premium on the put is paid upfront. The remaining is the payoff on the option. If spot is less than the strike, will the option be exercised? Yes, it is a put option and I've bought the put option. Hence my payoff will be plus K minus S. K is given to be 70. If spot is greater than the strike, will the option be exercised? It's a put option, so it will not be exercised. So nothing incrementally coming from the option. So if spot is less than the strike, that is, it is less than 70, again S will get cancelled. The payoff will simply be minus $25. That is minus 80 plus 70 minus 15. As the spot goes above the strike, the payoff becomes S minus 95. As it goes above 70, so for S greater than equal to 70, the payoff is S minus 95. For S less than 70, the payoff is simply minus 25. The same position as a long call. There's a fixed $25 loss till the time spot is less than the strike. As the spot starts going up, profit will also start going up. So the expressions for the profit have been computed. What is the maximum possible profit in this strategy? Infinite. The spot grows up to infinity, there can be infinite profit. What is the maximum possible loss? The stop falls to 70, it will be 25. Anything lesser than 70 is also 25. Break-even price is where there is exactly no profit, no loss. So it is where S minus 95 will be equal to 0 or where S is equal to 95. So $95 is the break-even price. Compute the profits when the price is 0, 70, 75. So 0 and 70, it will be $25. 75, 80, 90, 100, it will be S minus 95. Whatever is greater than 70, payoff will be minus 20, minus 15, minus 5 and plus 5. Once you've computed the expression, you just need to put the values in that expression and compute the answers. Again, it didn't matter whether this was a protective put. If we were just given this, we would have done the same solution, or we would have given the same solution. Going ahead, there'll be 2 or even 3 or 4 options. And that's when the calculation will remain the same. It'll just be a little more taxing on the brain. So just make sure that you're concentrated. Otherwise, you can't get this question wrong. Hope questions like this come, at least 2 or 3 questions like this normally come or normally show up on the exam. So you shouldn't be getting these questions wrong because they're quite easy once you've understood the method and you follow a step-by-step process. The next option strategy is called a straddle. So in a straddle, we long a call option as well as long a put option at the same strike. So this is a strike. At this strike, we long a call as well as we long a put. Let's first draw the payoff on the call option. This is how the payoff on the long call will look. Next is the payoff on the put option. This is how the payoff on a long put would look. There's no reason why this premium should be lesser or greater. So this is just hypothetically, I've shown the premium for the put slightly lesser than the premium of the call. These are the payoffs that we already studied. Now let's try to draw the combined payoff from the strategy. So if spot ends up equal to the strike, that is if S is equal to K, then what will be the combined payoff? Which option will be in the money? If spot is equal to the strike, will I exercise the call or the put? None of them, or even if I exercise, there's nothing I will gain because the market price is the same as the strike price. Hence, I would lose my premium on both. I will lose the premium on the call as well as lose the premium on the put. So much I had already paid for the call plus whatever I pay for the put. This distance will also get added. This will be my total loss to begin with if spot remains the same as strike. If the spot goes above the strike, which option comes in the money? Call option comes in the money. I've bought both, so I will start gaining on the call option as the spot goes up. As the spot moves below the strike, which option comes in the money? Put option comes in the money. I'd long that option as well, so I will start gaining on the put. So to begin with, there will be a high upfront payment that I need to make. That is the sum of 2 option premiums. And then if the market moves in any direction in an extreme manner, the straddle will gain. So what is this person betting? Somebody who is long straddle. Please note all these are long strategy. This will be called a long straddle. A short straddle will be the other way around. It will be shorter call and shorter put. So somebody who is longing a straddle has what view on the market? He is betting on high volatility. That is, whatever happens will be extreme. It can go up or it can go down, but whatever will happen will be an extreme movement, a popular strategy around the general elections. When we feel that if a good government comes into place, then the market may go up. If there is confusion about the government formation, then the market goes down. So whatever happens will be an extreme. If the market remains range bound and it doesn't go anywhere, then the strategy will lose money. This is referred to as a long straddle. Now, let's assume that there are two strike prices. There is K1 and there is K2. K1, as we can see, is lesser than K2. C1 is the price of a call option at K1. C2 is the price of a call option at K2. P1 is the price of a put option with a strike price of K1, and P2 is the premium of a put option with a strike price of K2. Question is C1 lesser than C2, equal to C2, or greater than C2? Similarly, is P1 lesser than P2, equal to P2, or greater than P2, or we can't say? Fourth option is that we can't say. Let's assume K1 is a price of $10 and K2 is a price of $100. Call option is a right to buy. In one case, you are being given a right to buy at $10. In another case, you are given the right to buy at $100. What is more valuable to you? The right to buy something at $10 or the right to buy something at $100? The cheaper the better. You can buy it at $10, nothing like it. If the right to buy is at $100, then maybe it's not worth it, because in the market it may be available cheaper. So the lower the strike price, the higher the premium of the call option always. Everything else remaining the same, the lower the strike, the higher will be the premium on the call. Put option is the right to sell. In K2, there is a right to sell at $100. K1 indicates the right to sell at $10. What is more valuable, the right to sell at 100 or the right to sell at 10? If I can sell at 100, that's more valuable. So remember, the premium of a higher strike put is always higher than a lower strike price put, everything else remaining the same. The problem with this straddle was that too high an upfront investment needed. I had to pay too big premiums for the call as well as the put. The strangle is an otherwise similar strategy, but what we do is that instead of buying two call options at a strike price of K, we buy a call at a strike price of K2 and we buy a put at a strike price of K1. What this will do is it will reduce the premium of the call, because at K2 the premium will be lesser than K as the strike price is higher, and it will reduce the premium of the put as well, because at K1 the premium will be lesser than K for the put option. So now if spot is between K1 and K2, which option is in the money? Again, we are long a call and we are long a put, but at K2 and K1. If S is between K1 and K2, which option comes in the money? For the call to be in the money, spot has to be greater than K2. For the put to be in the money, spot has to be less than K1. Spot has to be less than the strike for a put to be in the money. Spot has to be greater than the strike for the call to be in the money. So between K1 and K2, none of the options comes in the money. That is, again, I lose the sum of both premiums. So I'll lose the premium on the call as well as the premium on the put. So this entire sum will be my loss. As the spot moves above K2, I will start gaining on the call. As the spot moves below K1, I will start gaining on the long put. So the payoff is the same as the straddle. However, the sum of these two premiums will now be lower than the sum of the earlier two premiums, because the call also has a lower premium and the put also has a lower premium. The view remains the same. He's still counting on an extreme movement. If it is range bound, then the strategy will lose money. Spread strategies are strategies in which we buy and sell an equal number of options. So if you are buying two options, we need to sell two options. If you are buying one option, we need to sell one option. Such strategies would be called spread strategies, that is buying and selling an equal number of options. The first kind of spread that we'll study is known as a bull spread. So in a bull spread, we buy a call at a lower strike price K1 and we sell a call at a higher strike price K2. So you buy a call at K1 and you sell a call at K2. The first call will have a higher premium since it is at a lower strike price. So this is how the payoff on the first call can be represented. Please note this will be a 45-degree line. The second call will have a lower premium since it's written on a strike of K2. So I'm longing a call at K1 and I'm selling a call at K2. So on the So if I short a call at K2, as long as the spot price remains below K2, I will receive the premium. And as the spot goes above K2, I will lose according to this 45-degree line. So long call at K1 and short call at K2. Let's now try to depict the combined payoff from this strategy. If the spot ends up less than K1, then which of the call options comes in the money? For a call option to be in the money, the spot has to be greater than the strike. If spot is less than K1, none of the options comes in the money. Whether you are long or short doesn't matter. In the money is only for the long. A short can never come in the money. Short has already received his premium, that is his maximum profit. So only the long can be in the money, which will be when the spot is greater than the strike for a call and when the spot is less than the strike for a put option. But S less than K1, none of the options are in the money. So my total payoff will simply be the sum of the two premiums. So there's a big premium C1 that I have to pay because the first call will have a higher premium, and a small premium C2 that I will receive. So this dotted line will represent the payoff if S is less than K1. As S moves above K1 but is still less than K2, I will start gaining on the first call. So as S goes above K1, the first call starts coming in the money, and as the spot moves further, the gain on this call will keep going up until K2. As the spot moves above K2, both the calls are now in the money. On the first call, I continue to gain as the spot moves up. But on the second call that I have sold, as the spot moves above K2, I will start having a loss because the buyer will exercise, causing me a loss. So any incremental gain is knocked off by this loss on the short call. So the payoff will again flatten out. This is the payoff on a bull spread. In spread strategies, remember, we are buying and selling an equal number of options. So our downside is also limited, but our upside is also limited. Spread strategies generally are low risk strategies. So this is called a bull spread because it makes money when the market goes up. Buy a call at a lower strike price and sell a call at a higher strike price to make a bull spread. An investor purchases a call for $5 with a strike price of $55 and sells a call for $3 with a strike price of $65. Demonstrate the expressions for the profit and the maximum profit and compute the maximum profit and loss and the break-even price. Now once again, in a question on options, we will depict our timeline first and depict the various strike prices that are there. So there's a strike price of 55 and there is a strike price of 65. We'll now understand, or we'll now compute the expressions under various scenarios. S less than 55, S greater than or equal to 55 but less than 65, and finally S greater than or equal to 65. There are two strike prices of two options now. Let's first compute the expression in the first case. If S is less than 55, which option comes in the money? First one is a call and second is also a call with a strike of 55 and 65. So if S is less than 55, none of the options come in the money. So my payoff will just be the difference of the premiums. So I will receive $3 on the call that I have sold, and I'll have to pay $5 on the call that I have purchased, making my total payoff as minus $2 in the first case. If S is between 55 and 65, then one option comes in the money. The option that is purchased with a strike of 55. As the spot moves above 55, this option will come in the money. The payoff on this option will now be S minus 55. The other option has no payoff because the strike price is 65, so it will expire worthless, and I will still receive the premium. So I have to pay a $5 premium for this call, and I received a $3 premium for the second call. So if S is between 55 and 65, then the expression will be S minus 55 minus 5 plus 3, that is S minus 57. If S is greater than or equal to 65, then both options come in the money. On the first option, I will still continue to have my payoff of S minus 55, and I paid a premium of $5. On the second option, I will now have a loss equal to S minus 65 because the second option is also now in the money as S goes above 65. So the gain will be S minus 65, but to the buyer. I have sold this call, so I will have so much loss, and I received a $3 premium. So in this case, S will get cancelled. So it will be 65 minus 55 minus 2, that is $8. So if S is less than 55, the loss is $2. S is greater than 65, the loss is $8. Between 55 to 65, the return or the payoff follows the expression S minus 57. What is the maximum possible profit? Whether you enter 65 here or you see any price greater than 65, the maximum profit is $8. What is the maximum loss? When you enter S as 55, the lowest that S can be is 55 in this expression, and below 55 it is minus 2. Whether you put 55 here or you see minus 2, the maximum loss is $2. Break-even price is where S minus 57 will be equal to 0, or where S is equal to $57 will be break-even. Compute the profits for when the price is 0, 45, 50. So until 55, it will be minus 2. 65 and above, it will be $8. And 60, we can calculate, it will be 60 minus 57, that is $3. So any question on options, once again, first depict the strike prices and then study all the cases around the strike prices. A bear spread is the opposite of a bull spread. So we will now long a call at a higher strike price K2 and short a call at a lower strike price K1. So at K1, the premium will be higher. It's still a call option, but I receive this premium because I'm shorting the call option. So I will receive a high premium, and as the stock goes up, I will have a loss corresponding to the amount the stock goes up. At K2, I long the call. So I'll have to pay a lower premium because the premium for a call at a higher strike price is lesser, as we proved. And as the stock goes above K2, the long call will make me gain. Let's draw the combined payoff again. So if S is less than K1, which option comes in the money? Neither comes in the money, because for a call to be in the money, the spot price has to be greater than the strike. Why will I buy at K1 when the spot is less than K1? I'll rather buy from the market. So none of the calls comes in the money. So the payoff is simply equal to the difference of premiums. So I received a high premium and I paid a small premium. So the net difference would be along the dotted line. As the spot goes above K1, which option comes in the money? K1 comes in the money, but I'm short the option at K1. So now I will start losing, or the buyer will start gaining. So as the spot goes above K1, the more it goes above, the more will be my loss until we reach the point K2. At K2, both options come in the money. So the loss will continue on K1. However, an equal profit will start coming on K2, because for every 1 unit movement above K2, there will be a 1 unit gain on the second call which I am long. So the payoff will again plateau out. So again, a bull spread is a limited upside, limited downside game. This strategy makes money as the market goes down. This is referred to as a bear call spread. Please try to do on your own, that is, create the same payoffs, bull spread and bear spread, with the help of put option. In a butterfly spread, we long a call at K1, short 2 calls at K2, and again long a call at K3. So there will be 3 strike prices. Now I long a call at a lower strike price K1. Then I long a call at a very high strike price K3, and in the middle I short 2 call options. So let's see how the payoff will look. If we long a call at K1, this will have the highest premium. The lowest strike call will have the highest premium. So the payoff will look something like this. This is the payoff on the first long call. On the third long call, the premium will be the lowest, and this will be the payoff on the long call K3. Now I've short 2 calls at K2. The premium of each of these calls will be lesser than K1 because it's a higher strike price, but I'm shorting 2 calls. So I will receive 1 premium and I will receive the second premium equal in amount. If the spot remains less than the strike, then I will enjoy the 2 premiums because the options don't come in the money. If the spot goes above K2, I will start losing, but for every 1 unit increase, now it will not be a 45-degree fall. For every 1 unit increase after K2, there is a fall of 2 units because 2 calls come in the money and I'm short both the calls. So now it will be a steeper fall as compared to a 45-degree fall. For every 1 unit increase, 2 options go out of the money, causing double the loss. So this is the payoff on the individual options. Now let's try to draw the combined payoff on a butterfly spread. So once again, if spot is less than K1, which option is in the money? They're all calls. Call option comes in the money only if spot is greater than the strike. So none of the 3 options will come in the money. So my payoff will simply be the difference of the premiums. 2 premiums I'm giving, 2 premiums I'm receiving. Okay. Let's see, let's assume it's a mild negative. That is until K1. After K1, which option comes in the money? K1 comes in the money. I am long this call, so I will start gaining according to a 45-degree line until I reach K2. Once I reach K2, K1 is also in the money and will continue to remain in the money, but 2 options at K2 will also come in the money and I am short these 2 options. So now there will be twice the loss. So this gain will continue. There will be 1 loss from the first call that will plateau it out, and the second loss that will start decreasing the payoff or start causing a loss because I'm short 2 calls. If it was only 1 call, it would have become a bull spread. It would have plateaued out. Because I'm short 2 calls, this will again start going down. This will now be a 45-degree line because it's only 1 short call that is causing the loss. The other one gets cancelled by this first call. After K3, again the third call also comes in the money, which I am long. So this short call loss will further get negated by this long call profit, or the payoff will plateau out. So this is the payoff on a butterfly spread, wherein I long a call at K1, short 2 calls at K2, and long a call at K3. This dotted line is the payoff on the butterfly spread. Please note that in any situation when we are buying a call option, or let's say we are buying a put option, what is our view? If you're buying a call option, we think the stock will go up. If you're buying a put option, we think the stock will go down. The only problem with buying a call option is the premium. To help with the payment of the premium alongside buying a call, can I also short a put option? If I sell a put option, I'm relatively confident because anyways I'm buying the call. So my view is that the stock is going to go up. If the stock is going to go up, then the put will expire worthless because put comes in the money only when the stock falls. So to subsidize the purchase of the call, I short a put option. Or to subsidize the purchase of the put option, I short a call option. If I'm sure the stock will fall, I don't mind selling a call option because call comes in the money only when the stock goes up. Of course, the premium will be quite high for the call and the premium will be quite low for the strike price will be quite low for the put, such that it's not a big risk that I'm taking. But just to hedge my or to reduce my premiums, this kind of a strategy can be followed. That is, you buy an option and short the other option so as to subsidize your purchase. These strategies are called collar strategies. Both of them would be collars. Buying a call and selling a put, or buying a put and selling a call. Of course, at different strike prices. An investor purchases a stock for $50 and a put for $2 with a strike price of XL, that is $45. The investor sells a call for $2 with a strike price of $60. Demonstrate the expression for the profit and the maximum profit. Compute the maximum profit and loss and the break-even price. Compute the profits when the prices or the spot price ends at this value. Again, solving, we will follow the same method. First, depict the timeline and depict the various strike prices. So there is a strike price of 45 and then there is a strike price of 60. And then let's compute the payoffs under the three circumstances when S is less than 45, S is greater than or equal to 45 but less than 60, and when S is greater than or equal to 60. So at 45, you have purchased a put. If the stock price is less than 45, does any of the options come in the money? The put has a strike price of 45, so below 45 the put will be in the money. So let's just write down the payoffs on each of the individual instruments. We have purchased a stock for 50. The payoff on the stock in all cases will be S minus 50. So whatever be the stock price, minus 50 is the payoff on the stock. The total premiums also have been exchanged upfront. So I have paid $2 for the put and received $2 for the call. This is called a zero cost collar. So whatever we have paid as premium, we have funded it by selling a call option. So there is no premium exchanged, or the premiums cancel each other out. Now on the put option incrementally, there will be a gain equal to 45 minus S. On a call incrementally, there will be nothing because call will expire worthless. Call, for it to come in the money, the spot has to be greater than 60. If S is between 45 and 60, then again on the stock the payoff remains the same, premiums remain the same. The put will now expire worthless because put is valuable only when spot is lower than the strike. Why will I sell at 45? I will rather sell at the market. So I will not exercise this option. The call will also expire worthless because for the call to be in the money, spot has to be greater than 60. The call has a strike price of 60. So the expression in the middle would be S minus 50. The 2 will get cancelled out. So between 45 to 60, the expression for the profit is S minus 50. For S less than 45, we can sum. The S will get cancelled. Minus 50 plus 45 will be minus 5. This will be the total sum when S is less than 45. And when S is greater than equal to 60, the put will again expire worthless because the spot is greater than 45. The call will now come in the money and I'm short that call. So because I'm short that call, I will lose an amount equal to S minus K. The buyer of the call will gain S minus K. The total payoff, again S will get cancelled. S minus 50 from the stock will be 60 minus 50, that is $5. So the payoff is minus 5 when S is less than 45, S minus 50 between 45 to 60, and plus $5 when S is greater than equal to 60. So what is the maximum profit? Please note, till 60, till the price of 60 it is this formula that will apply. So if I enter S as 60, then the profit will be $10. So the maximum profit will be $10 when S is equal to 60. What is the break-even price? So break-even will happen when S is exactly equal to 50. Compute the profits when the price is 0, 40, 50, 60, 70 and 100. So 0 and 40, it will be minus 5. It is in this range. From 50 to 60, we will have to calculate. 50 it will be 0, 60 it will be $10, 70 and 100 it will again be $5. That is when the spot is greater than 60. So we've done many examples now of the same kinds. A question on options, always follow this strategy. Draw a timeline, depict the various strike prices and compute around the strike price. The last spread strategy that we'll study is called a box spread. So a box spread is a zero risk strategy. So what we do in a box spread is that we have a bull spread as well as a bear spread. The bull spread made out of call options and the bear spread made out of put options. There will be 4 options now. There's a bull call spread and a bear put spread such that the payoff becomes fixed. We'll understand with an example. An investor buys a call and sells a put with a strike price of $60. The call and put premiums are $5 and $2. The investor then sells a call and buys a put with a strike price of $70. For the second pair of options, the call and put premiums are $1 and $8. The options all expire in 3 months. Please note, for all strategies that we have studied, the date of expiration is the same. These are called vertical spreads. So vertical spreads are spreads where only the strike prices differ. The date of maturity remains the same. So I'm buying and selling an equal number of options with different strike prices. In horizontal spreads, also known as calendar spreads, the strike prices are the same. The time to maturity differs. In diagonal spreads, both are happening. The strike prices are also differing and the time to maturities are also differing. Spreads means we are buying and selling an equal number of options. Compute the profit and annualized return on the investment and determine whether this is a worthwhile investment if the risk-free rate is 8%. So first, let's depict the timeline and let's depict the various strike prices. There is a strike price of $60 and there is a strike price of $70. There are 4 options now, 2 calls and 2 puts. So if S is less than 60, both the calls will be out of the money, but both the puts will be in the money. So we can first calculate the sum and difference of all premiums because they will be exchanged in all cases, and just note that down. So he buys a call for 5 and sells a put for 2. So minus 5 plus 2 from the first, and for the second pair he sells a call for 1 and buys a put for $8. So his overall sum of premiums comes out to be minus $10. So this minus 10 is going to be in all cases regardless. This was just the difference of the premiums. Premiums have to be exchanged upfront. There's no running away from them. So now we can focus only on the incremental payoff. Incrementally, if S is less than 60, one put option will come in the money and another put option will come, rather both put options will come in the money. One I am long and one I am short. So at 60 I am short a put and long a call. At 70 I am short a call and long a put. So on the short put at 60 I will gain 60 minus S, rather the buyer of the put will gain 60 minus S, or I will lose 60 minus S. On the short or on the long put at 70 I will gain 70 minus S if the spot ends below 60. This put I have the right to sell at 70, and on this put I have the right to sell at 60. 60 minus S will be the gain here, but I am short, so I will lose. So my total payoff would be $10, or in this case it will be 10 minus 10, that is $0 totally. Between 60 and 70, one put comes in the money and one call comes in the money. So on the long call I will gain S minus 60. On the long put I will gain 70 minus S. This call doesn't come, this put doesn't come in the money. So again my total payoff will be 70 minus 60, that is $10, or 10 minus 10, in this case it will be 0. In the last case, that if S is greater than 70, then the puts will expire worthless, but both the calls will be in the money. On the first call, I'm long the call, so I will gain S minus 60 like I was gaining here. On the second call, I'm short the call, so I will lose S minus 70. The buyer of this call will gain S minus 70. Payoff again incrementally will be $10. I invested 10 to begin with. So under all circumstances, the payoff from this spread is coming out to be 0. So is it worthwhile to invest in this spread? What is the investment that we are making? We are making a $10 investment to begin with because the premiums have to be exchanged upfront. So for paying this $10 in 3 months, we are getting 0 additional. We are getting nothing. So should we rather put this $10 at the risk-free rate, or should we put it in the box spread? We will rather invest our $10 at the risk-free rate. So that was about spread strategies and some examples using spread strategies. So there are more examples mentioned in the slides. You can solve them. The riskiest form of speculation using option contracts. Remember, spread is a low risk strategy. You're buying and selling, upside and downside are both limited. Buying an option is a low risk strategy because you have an option. Your downside is limited to what? Downside is limited to the premium that you have paid. Writing naked call and naked put are both risky strategies, but which one is more risky? This is a naked put and this is a naked call. Naked call is more risky, guys, because in a naked put, stock will fall maximum to a value of 0, but stock can go up to a very high extent. It can double, triple also. So in that case, the loss can be much higher. A naked call will lose when the stock goes up. Naked put will lose when the stock goes down, selling the two options. So writing naked call options is a more risky strategy. Covered call will be less risky. Covered call will become a put. If I cover a call, that means I long a stock. Which of the following will create a bull spread? So please note, this is the same example of the bull spread with put options. Please try to draw the graphs on your own like we've been drawing all this while and verify that buying a put with a strike of 50 and selling a put with a strike of 55 will create the same bull spread that we studied earlier. This was the payoff on a bull spread, and this is a bull spread with put options. In the examples we did, we made it a bull spread and bear spread with call options. Similarly, the two questions are pretty straightforward regarding of the bear spread and the bull spread. So please verify the answers. Which of the following regarding option strategies is not correct? A long strangle involves buying a call and a put with equal strike prices. Please note, this is not a strangle, this is called a straddle. The statement is wrong. Question asks not correct. This is not correct, hence it is a correct option. A short bull spread involves selling a call at a lower strike price and buying another call at a higher strike price. This is correct. Because a long bull spread was the other way around. Buy a call at K1 and sell a call at K2. So you'll have to remember these. A short bull spread will be the other way around. Short at a lower and long at a higher strike price. So this is a correct statement. Vertical spreads are formed by options with different strike prices. Horizontal spreads or calendar spreads are with different maturities. Diagonal spreads are when strike prices and maturities both differ. So this is correct because it's an incorrect statement. A long butterfly spread is formed by buying two options at two different strike prices and selling another two options at the same strike price. That is correct. This is what we just studied, was the butterfly spread or a long butterfly spread. So 1 and 3 are incorrect.